everybody, and welcome to the 32nd episode of Puck Witches, a vibes-based podcast where we yap about all things hockey. Today is June 1st, 2025. I'm your host, Champ, and this is my partner in crime, Saint. Saint, how you doing?
We're going to the Stanley Cup Finals, baby!
Well, as always, we have a lot to discuss this episode, so let's jump right into it. Saint, we gotta talk about it.
We gotta talk about it. Oh my god.
What a week. It's the last time I talked to you because we've been doing shit, going a little crazy.
Things have been a little insane,
a little wired
for the Puck Witches this week.
The last time I talked to you, we had just lost game 1 to Dallas and then won game 2, and you and I were like, "We're fine. It's fine. It's fine," and it was fine. It was actually fine.
That's what's crazy. Is it was fine.
You know, I wasn't expecting that. I was honestly expecting the matinee game to go a lot worse. Just because they don't have a tendency to do well in matinee games. But I guess the Oilers just said, F it, and we'll do it live. And
we'll do it live.
Shut people down. Like, legit. Sorry, Dallas. Sorry,
we
not
do
sorry.
like the Stars. Again,
Yeah.
we do like the Stars. This was one of the harder series to watch. I was like, sorry, babies. And also, stop it. Stop hurting my guys.
Nurse. So, again, as we said, this week has been kind of funky. I had to travel out of state on Tuesday at last minute. And I was very anxious because my flight was at 8 p.m., which for people who were watching the series was when the hockey game started. And I was legit getting a little freaked out because I was like, oh man, I if I don't watch, what happens? Like, is it screwed over? Like, is that it? And so I bought plane Wi-Fi and spent the entire 3 hours on that plane and on that flight watching hockey.
What? Sorry. It seems that the Boston Fleet have left Captain Hillary Knight unprotected for the expansion draft.
Oh, no.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Sorry. Oh my god. What do you mean? What do you mean?
So she's gonna get taken.
I will lose it.
Yeah, I know. Can she go to Seattle and not Vancouver?
Yeah, I'm still not happy. I'm gonna be okay. Not this week. Not this week. We have to talk about the Oilers. And then we'll freak out about the
So, anyways, okay. I bought a plane Wi-Fi to watch hockey on the plane. It was surprising. American Airlines, you did a great job with your Wi-Fi. It didn't have a single issue with the streaming. It was fantastic, and it was in time with you.
Yeah, it was. It was in time. I was surprised because usually it's it's
Wi-Fi.
It's Wi-Fi and you're on a flight and and I'm watching it was so the first one you were on your desktop.
Yes.
It was game 3.
Yes, that was the matinee.
Game 3? That was the matinee. And I'm sitting in an ER hospital room. I'm not the patient, guys. I'm not the patient. With my mother, who was the patient. Yeah. And she literally, because we were timing out the rotations of who's going to visit my mom in the hospital. And mom's like, well, you have to come at 3 so we can watch the Oilers play. So I was there at 3 to watch the Oilers.
I said at that moment, oh, this will be the weirdest place we watch hockey this week.
And then, but yeah, so we're in the hospital room, in ER, their observation thing. And thank God they had TV. They have TVs in every room. And so I turn on the hockey game and they're like, we gotta check your blood pressure. I'm like, could you wait until after? Because her blood pressure's gonna be okay. She's locked in. No, all of her vitals were good at the time.
Yes.
So it was just one of those things of you're sitting I'm sitting in a uncomfortable hospital room chair, mom's sitting on the hospital bed, and then you're on the phone.
Yeah.
While we're watching.
Yep.
And we're all trying to watch it, and because we were watching on live TV, and so you had to keep pausing it to try and match up.
I was 30 seconds behind.
Yeah, full on 30 seconds behind.
So every 5 minutes I would go, oh man, I want a Connor goal, and then Connor would score a goal. And I wouldn't pay attention. attention to it. 30 seconds of me saying, you called it. Wait, watch this. Wait, watch this. Yeah.
Watch it. It was so exciting.
Yeah, and then I had to fly and watch an entire hockey game.
And you were watching on the flight, and we couldn't call because it couldn't handle both. That was our only complaint.
And American Airlines get good, but also thank you for streaming my hockey game.
Thank you for letting us stream our hockey game. So then we were texting each other.
Yeah.
And you almost broke your husband's hand.
I did.
On the flight.
He gets to know what it's like when I go into labor. I think I would have hurt him more watching this game than it would in actual labor.
I thought you were gonna say no. He knows what I felt like when Saint squeezed my hand and bruised it.
I don't think I bruised his as hard. I think you were worse.
It was Pittsburgh. It was overtime. It was worth it. It was. A lot of games are different too. Like being in the arena is a little different.
And then they won, and I was like, okay. That was the game. Yeah, that was the game where Marshman mush. I like you. I don't hate you during the regular season. Why the fuck you got to break my boy Hyman's hand?
And here's because we're gonna get into it, y'all. Nurse slashed Rupe Hintz.
Yes,
and I like Hintz. I do. We like the stars. This is where I think we benefit from, like, we like the stars overall. It was just a hockey play, guys. Yeah. It was really unfortunate. It was super unfortunate that he broke his foot.
With Hyman. I mean, Hyman's was a hockey hit. It was a illegal hit, but it was a hockey hit.
He did. It was like, and it was very funny because someone on Twitter was like, they said Rupe Hintz, broke his foot, and someone was like, had replied,
that's not
mockingly that like, but the Mason Marshman hit was a legal hit, like that's just hockey. And it was so funny because everyone in the replies who all had Oilers PFPs were like, yeah, it was like, it was just unfortunate that Marchment hit him. But here's the thing. Nurse got his 2-minute penalty, guys.
Yes, like,
for a retaliatory like slashing from a cross check behind the play. And it was just super, super unfortunate that he was hurt.
Yeah.
But Marchment, like, I think the Stars got their vengeance, okay? Zach Hyman's out for potentially until the start of next regular season. He may even miss player camp.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty fucking severe. And Connor Brown was out for multiple games, and we still beat y'all in 5. So.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it. My favorite quote, and the quote that gave me such stress, because on Friday we were going into it, I was still out of town, so I was watching it on my phone on the big screen, which that one timed out really well. Was Thomas Harley going, oh yeah, they're a little bit worse now. And I was like, Harley, I like you a lot.
When you hear how he says it's better.
Reading
the words on paper were not very pretty, Harley.
And so I was like, all right, well, whatever, Harley. We're going to prove you wrong tonight. And like, I was a little nervous because I know how Dallas gets in a desperation game, and then 2 minutes happened and it was fine. We're fine. It's great. We were... Then they came back. They got 2 goals, and I was like, "Oh boy, here this collapsed." But no, the Oilers did it. The Oilers did it. Jeff Skinner.
Guys, my hockey fund came into use because I just put so much like money in for this bit that I'm doing for the playoffs. And I was like, Jeff Skinner, if you score a goal in your second game, I'm gonna buy your jersey, because there was a Buffalo Sabres goat head jersey on eBay in my size for like $80, and it was an Adidas one, which are at cost was normally $230 retail. And it was new with tags. And I was like, okay, and like I had it was a legitimate seller, so
I'm not gonna lie,
I bought it immediately.
When you bought that and then Robertson scored, I was like, saying you have to return it. I was like, you have to cancel your order.
Usually I would have waited until after the game, but I said it wasn't about us winning or losing. It was about
Jeff Skinner getting a goal.
Congratulations.
His first playoffs, he's going to the Stanley Cup final. That's gotta be an incredible feeling. Also, he scored his first ever playoff goal in the Western Conference final after being in the NHL for years. And he did really well on Friday night. I think that because he's in because Hyman is out for the rest of the season. Jeff Skinner is in for the rest of the season, probably. I don't know what Chris Knobloch wants to do. I hope that Jeff Skinner's like locked in.
I hope so too.
I want him. I know that it would be incredibly poetic, but I want him to get a game-winning goal. Like, I want him to get a game-winning goal so badly, just because of the narrative. The narrative, please. And if we don't have that, I'll be very sad. But I'm not saying for which game. I'm just saying I want a game-winning goal.
It was just one of those things of like the difference between this season and last season
with the stars
for like just in general.
Yeah.
Okay. So like last season we were, I don't want to say, I think we were surprised. I think it was one of those like magic rides where it was like, you know,
we're riding the high.
Where it was like, it wasn't that we felt that we didn't deserve to be there. It just felt like we were fighting so hard for it. That every time we won a round, it was crazy. Like you couldn't, it wasn't that we couldn't believe it, but you couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And then the Canucks series killed everybody. And so like,
I just, it was a good thing that we beat Dallas last year, obviously. And I think we were the better team last year against Dallas. But I think it was very telling in the differences of last year's Dallas series versus this year's Dallas series. Not just because we played one less game, but because it was all of our top line is still relatively healthy. I mean, Hyman doesn't count, and Brownie's coming back. Like, he should be back game 1.
But like losing Hyman really hurts. But but like this year, it just feels like the boys are so calm.
Yes.
Yeah, they're locked in. Okay, yeah. Like they feel like they're locked in.
Connor came off the ice in Dallas, which is where I was, by the way. Very fun fact. I almost bought playoff tickets until I saw the price, and then I was like, haha, absolutely not.
I'm so tempted to send you the money because I was so sure we were going to win. I was like, we have to. Once the Panthers won in 5,
yeah,
I was like, we have to win in 5.
Absolutely.
We have to. And it was like, Farrell, we have to win in 5.
But like, when Connor came off of the ice and talked to Emily Kaplan, he was like, yeah, all right. And I'm like, this dude is so calm. There's no elation. There were people, Oilers
like,
who were excited.
Cheering. Don't get me wrong, they were happy, but like
you can tell the job's not done.
Yes, they literally, like that is literally their mindset. Still got to win 4.
Yeah,
like that is their mindset. We got to win 4 more though,
and
like,
it's against the Panthers, who, first of all, second of all, they know their play style, and they know it's gonna be a bloodbath, and I'm very nervous. I don't need anybody else getting hurt. If one of the Oilers get hurt, I'm gonna take your cousin's offer to go to a game, and I'm gonna cough on every single person in that locker room.
I think he is already selling his playoff tickets once I said no, that I couldn't take off of work.
Shut up! I'm manifesting.
I can't believe we're getting rematch.
Oh my God! I thought I knew that the Panthers were gonna get him. I'm not even gonna lie.
They're just a terrifying team.
I was hoping that the Canes would put up more of a fight.
Once the Caps like collapsed, I was like, could the Canes put up a fight though? And then they didn't. And I was like, fuck.
And so when they put up a fight maybe in the last game. I was kind of watching half-heartedly because I hate the Panthers. And I don't really care about the Canes. Like, the Canes hockey is still boring. Whatever you say, Rod, it's still boring. And so, like, wasn't really paying attention to that series. And so when the Panthers won, I just felt this deep remorse. Because either way, I had a feeling the Oilers were going all the way. Once they got past the Kings, I was like, Vegas isn't that scary.
Once once we won game 3, and then like once we beat that series, it was like, okay, the 0-2 is just, they have to lose one game a series. Just because then they lock in harder.
Yeah.
No, and they just have to lock in harder.
All I'm thinking about is that stupid look between Connor and Dry, and I'm going, yeah, that's fitting.
That's the moment.
That's the moment.
And it's like, honestly, we could have swept in the Vegas series if it wasn't for just a stupid breakdown. We had
the
it.
last
We
2
really did.
seconds. Because we're
Point
better.
4 seconds.
I do think
because
we're
we would
better
have won
in
in overtime.
Yeah.
Yes. And we have the biggest depth in terms of defense that we've ever had.
So stunning. Legitimately stunning.
This is still anyone's game. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I have much more hope this year.
I have
in terms of their faith in their abilities as opposed to just faith in them. You know what I mean?
It's the difference between we're riding on the narrative hard. This time it's they've got the stats to prove it. And it's not just stats. It feels cohesive. And even when they have breakdowns, they've shown that they can recover really well. I did see, I think it was Matthew something on Twitter who said that the Panthers have really struggled with defensemen that can
move the puck.
And that's what we've got.
Yeah. They were trying to say that the Oilers haven't faced teams with good forecheck. What are you talking about?
What
are you talking about? The Kings. And this is also, I'm fine with being underestimated. I'm fine with it.
I agree.
Every time
they underestimated us, I'm fine with it.
Even the Stars, they were like, oh, yeah, I think the Stars and 7. That was the one that I just kept seeing was Stars and 7. And I'm like, what?
On that first game, even though we had the massive collapse, and I still think that Nabi should have called a timeout and calmed them down, given them a chance to breathe in that third period, because that Stars game was just full of bad penalties, right?
Yes.
It wasn't an actual showing of the skill that this team has got, because they got 3 points and they were doing fantastic, and then it just was okay, we can't. We're cruising high. They have got to keep in their mindset that it's you got to grind to the whole end of the game. You can't get comfortable. But I also think that the Stars really had an issue with Otter. Is they put so much trust in Otter that their defense just felt, oh, he'll get it.
They also just didn't have deep defense.
Yeah. Sorry, if Cody Cece is on the first line, we have a problem.
And it's not that Cody was even Cece wasn't even doing that bad, but if he's your number one, it's a problem. You know what I mean? It's just he was playing. He wasn't the worst player on the ice. And I think that people were getting so mad at just the Stars in general being where's your offense? Where's your offense? Where's your offense? The Oilers are shutting it down, guys.
Yes.
Here's the thing. Leon Draisaitl was on that ice not to score goals. He was on that ice to score goals and stop you from scoring goals. It wasn't one or the other. It was both.
The Stars offense did dry up. Rantanen didn't score a single goal this series.
Yeah, but not they just all sort of couldn't. I think this is. They were not getting they did not have a lot of puck luck. I will give them that. But they couldn't score on 5v5.
No.
And they were power play merchants. That was the only reason they won
game 3.
The first game. Game 3 was
game one.
It was game 1. They only won game 1 was because of their power plays. And I don't think the league was biased against I don't think that they were.
I don't think the roughing was even that bad.
I don't want to say.
I don't think it was a bad matchup.
The roughing was just bad. It was just bad overall.
Just didn't catch shit,
they just didn't catch a lot of shit.
But for the most part, it was kind of even for the first time.
It was, and I think that was what was throwing people off. Is we should have had more.
Yeah.
Power plays. We should have.
Yeah.
Objectively. It was just one of those things that we were so dominant that we should have had more power plays.
Yeah.
And they were definitely okay, we've got to give the Stars a shot.
Yeah.
And not calling a lot of shit that they should have been.
Think,
but I don't think it was egregiously bad in terms of
not the Kings or the Vegas series.
Yeah, where there were some moments. But
I do think we followed the Twitter scouting the refs, and honestly, when I saw Wes and Chris Rooney were reffing together, I was like, okay, this is going to 6. And then they gave us the first power play, And we
we were in
scored
shock
on the first
We
power play.
shocked, absolutely shocked.
I'm proud of them for the boys, not the refs, for reining themselves in after the
Again,
first
they're
one.
cool.
But they have,
they're cool, calm, and collected. That's the difference. The Oilers are locked the fuck in.
Yeah.
They really are, because the Oilers last year, we would have gone to 6 just on stupid shit because they would have been pissed off about Brownie. They would have been pissed off about Hyman.
Yeah.
And actually, you know what I will say? I am so proud of them, because if this had been in the regular season, we would have lost that game just because they would have gotten in their own heads about Hyman being out.
Yes.
Because that's happened
and
multiple
also,
times where like our guys would go out down the tunnel, and then they would spiral, and
who was it that also got roughed up that game? Was it Freddie? Freddie and then Nuggy both took hard hits into the board. And Kane had like to roll his neck, and like we were like, oh brother, okay. We're already down to 10 forwards, we're gonna be down to 9. And the lines were scrambled. And that was the weakest game. And they still dominated.
Yes, it was just really impressive. And honestly, the Stars, I don't think they were, I think they need more defensive depth. Mm-hmm. And I think they need a little bit more offensive depth. They need like the current state of the game. They need defensemen who can move the puck to match their offensive.
They're in the same spot we were in last year.
Yes, I truly believe that. I really hope they don't blow up the Stars roster. I really don't. And that's not me being like a psycho bit. Like, I'm not trying to like get under their skin. Like, it's legitimately, I think they're a solid team. I think they need just more. They need to move defensive pieces, and they probably need to move like a couple of their forwards. I think Pete DeBoer needs to not throw his star goalie who signed under a contract until 2028. Dude, we sat there
still
in
mad about
shock. In shock
for those of you who have been living under a rock
and did not watch the game.
We pulled Otter on the second goal. I would have said 3. I would have said 3.
No. Here's the thing. I would have, because here's what he did. He did it completely wrong, right? He calls a timeout. In the first like 5 minutes. And which I understand, because it was 2 shots on goal and 2 goals. And I get it. Well, two shots to 1 shot to 1 kill. So I understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
I agree.
So I get it. But in the time that they're in that timeout, he doesn't tell Otter that he's pulled. He waits until Otter gets back on the ice and then screams at him to get back off the ice. And then puts in Casey DeSmith, who has never won an elimination game in the playoffs ever. What is wrong? Like, again, one or the other.
Yes, and that's what most of the timeout. The stat people have been like, they're like, you don't do both at the same time. The video reviewers are like, this was uncalled for, unheard of. And I remember, I legit saw the called the timeout, and I was like, okay, yeah, I get it. But when I heard they're pulling Otter, I freaked out, and you went, no, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. And we watched.
I was like, couldn't believe it.
Literally could not. Yeah. We were legitimately so upset for Otter. And then he had to sit beside Ray Ferrero, just listening to him talk about being pulled. It's got to be the most awkward thought in the game.
Like, it's just.
And then it didn't even work. Casey DeSmith got immediately scored on.
And then,
by Jeff Skinner.
And then it was 3 shots, 3 goals. By Jeff Skinner. Like Otter probably could hear the goal happening before he was even like taking it. Like, what?
The comments afterwards were even more upsetting.
I don't think I've ever seen hockey Twitter more united than everyone being appalled at him pulling Otter, and then also appalled at like how he talked about Otter in his press conference, because
he threw Otter
even
under the bus.
Oilers fans were like, what the fuck, my guy? You don't do that. And like everybody who was a Fleury fan was like, yeah, tracks, because he did the same thing to Flower.
And it's, as sports fans who have been watching Skinner all year long, get thrown under the bus, struggle to keep his head above the water. He's not the best goalie. He still probably should be a backup. He is killing it now. And for us to be like, during the season, like, you need to trade Skinner, we need to get better goaltending, and them saying, no, we're sticking behind our goaltenders. It like, that kind of support shows your goaltenders that they can have mistakes, and then they build off of what mistakes they do, and they learn. Otter is not going to come back as strongly confident because he can't trust his coach. That's a very burned bridge.
I think you have to, like,
You fired Pete DeBoer?
But, like, again, the problem is, and then who do you...
You don't.
You don't. And I don't think Pete DeBoer is, like...
I don't think it's... Listen, I just know that Otter's still ignoring his calls.
I mean, I would be like, you better fucking grovel, man. Because, like, again, they have
almost all of the pieces.
Yes, they are the Oilers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And here's the other thing. This is the same thing as the Toronto Maple Leafs, but in the West. What do you mean? They're going against the Florida Panthers.
Yes.
They're going against the Edmonton Oilers. No, unless you are at that caliber, you're not winning. Like, it's just not going to happen. You have to hope that enough pieces have been taken out in previous rounds to get you there. It's the same thing. Like, it's just great teams getting taken out early, or you can't beat them in the conference final. Like, you just can't. It's like, there has
to be something that says that the teams that you get beat by, like the Toronto Maple Leafs, we've been talking about it, they have to feel a little bit of comfort knowing that the team that they faced, that they took to 7, is now going to the Stanley Cup final. Dallas should be proud that it sucks, but they lost to the team that's going to the Stanley Cup final. Like, it's not bad. It's the same thing with the Oilers when they lost to the Avs, and that was the year that the Avs won the Cup. They lost to the Knights, and that was the year that the Knights won the Cup. And then they lost to the Panthers, and the Panthers won the Cup. Like, we keep getting better with each step. You're not failing. You're just, at the moment, not the better team. But that makes me, that once again makes me wonder, why are we so underrated?
I don't
get it. I don't mind it. I don't like the pressure on us.
I can't understand how you can have a team with Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, Evan Bouchard, and Matthias Ekholm as, like, your top players. Yeah. And you still underestimate them. Yeah. Is it just because we've gone so long without a cup in the McDry era, which isn't even their fault? Like, when you look the statistics on, like, the goals percentage without McDry, and it was like the best we'd ever had before was 50%.
Yeah. And now it's 66?
And now it's like almost 70%. Yeah. We have the ability. And the narratives, okay? Yeah. The narratives of, like,
history.
We also, like, we want to be some real puck witches here of the superstition. So this is the 3rd time in the salary cap era, I believe, that teams have gone back to back in the finals.
Yeah.
And the last 2 times, the team that lost in the year before, aka Sid Crosby in 2009 and 2008, that won. And so the last game, right, game 5 for the Panthers, the end score was 5-3.
Yeah.
And it was a comeback. The Oilers, we led the whole time.
Yep.
And the end score was 6-3.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And we have Jess Skinner, who is a former Buffalo Sabre, and every time they trade one of their star players or like their good players, they go to win the cup. I know. Oh my God.
I will not underestimate the Panthers. I didn't underestimate.
No, I'm terrified. I'm legitimately terrified.
But it's a different kind of fear than it was last year. Last year, it was like this nervous energy because we were like, oh my gosh, we got here. On our first year of really watching hockey. Oh my gosh. We're going to get killed, but we might have a chance. This year,
we just had hope.
No hope, only vibes. This year, it's like, it's a jittery, nervous, but it's like, I mean, I trust this team a lot more than I did last year.
Someone pointed out that there's not a line right now that when the Oilers are on the ice that I go, yes, oh, we're fucked. There's no line that I'm like, there's lines that I'm like, why do we have so-and-so or this and this? But it's only just because we haven't,
or that there's better lines to be out there, but they just literally can't be. A player's in the back room or...
like a poor, just a a swap out, or like it was their PK and now they need to swap out to like
last
the 5v5. And
year we literally had to go through it. This was when we started learning how to read lines, was because we were scared of Nurse and Cece together. And that's the only reason that we went from, I think that's when we went from casual hockey fans being happy about our team getting to the Western Conference Final to, I have got to know who is playing on what line at what time, because that might fuck everything up.
Yep. And then it went to like, just, okay, but why? And then you start learning about, you just learned by like, okay, but why does so-and-so? And I think that was one of the hardest parts of Eki being back, was then you have to bench somebody.
Stetch.
And Stetcher,
I don't think Stetch deserves to be benched. I think Stetch...
he's so good.
He's so good, and he's so calming for Nurse. Although, I'm not sure how he would do against the Panthers. You know what I mean?
I don't know. It's just one of those that like we'll see.
Okay, here's the thing. I need this team to step up in hits now that Hyman's out. Cappy,
which they did.
Cappy will do fine. Cappy will do great. Kane, you got to get your ass in there.
He did. I don't know if I have the stat ready. Let me see if it was. I'm looking to see if I have it saved off the top of my head. I think that. No, I can't. I don't have it, but we did.
I'm sure. But we have got to. You have to beat the Panthers.
You gotta go. Game. Yes, we have to be very, very physical, which we have been really good at. We've been leading in hits.
Yes, but that was because crazy. Of Hyman.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Dry for not taking penalty minutes.
Yeah.
Like, he's been so good this year as a guy who once led second in our team to penalty minutes, and now is like a guy who never take. He's never. Selkie word. Yeah.
I just think that it's this team. If this team can't win it,
I don't know what else we can do.
Genuinely, other than maybe goaltending, but even then.
But Skinner's been on fucking fire.
And
like
even we have Calvin Pickard.
And we have Pickard back, and like they've been locked in because especially for Stuart Skinner, he's objectively kind of younger.
Yeah.
And I think that like he kind of got thrown under the bus in terms of like, it's just that it's sort of like what happened to Otter, not to this degree, but like, the Otter, those 2 goals weren't his fault.
Yeah.
They really weren't. Yes, maybe he should have saved one of them, but like, at least the third
was a breakaway and a freaking power play. Yeah, like it was a bad line change in a power play. How are you blaming the goalie for that? Like, it sucks. He can't score the goals. Like,
yeah, and didn't we shut them out? Didn't they get shut out twice?
No, once.
This season? No, this series. Oh. Like, not this series. I'm sorry, this season, like this playoff season.
Yes.
So it's the same thing with like the Leafs. How are you gonna, like, the Leafs objectively have bad defense, but like if your forwards can't break through, and now the game has changed. Yeah. Right.
Thank you, Mike Sullivan.
Yeah, except now now this is the next stage of life via Paul Maurice of. Well, actually, there's currently debate on that, which is that like it really just is like, it's not necessarily that Paul Maurice's coaching style has changed. It's just that he's finally gotten the roster that will do exactly what he wants, which is hit fucking hard. I don't necessarily think they have like a star player on the caliber of like McDry. They don't have a generational talent like McDry. They have, and honestly, they better fucking give kisses to Boston for that trade, because Marshy's line has been insane, and Marshy's been insane.
How are you gonna do?
I'm not. My cousin texted me and he's like, we're gonna see you in the finals again, blah blah blah, and I was like, okay, because he offered for us to go down and go to a playoff.
I would have had this week not happened.
Yes, was my he knew what was going on with like my side, and so side. Yeah, and he was like, I know you probably can't. I was like, I have to be a responsible human being, and also I have to have 3 weeks notice to take off of work, otherwise I have to call out. And I could do it. I could legitimately do it, because it was the 9th, and so it was like I could literally just, because it's a Monday and I have Sundays off, so I could have flown up Sunday, or even Saturday, and just hung out with them.
Yeah.
And then stayed Monday, and then flown home sometime on Tuesday, and I would have only had to take off Monday. Tuesday. And I had 2 days of sick day left, but then that would leave me with no sick days for 4 months. For 4 months.
So it's just one of those things where, God, we were so close again.
So close. But I said, could you just cheer for the Oilers and Marshy for me? And he was like, yes to Marshy, no to
the Oilers.
Not sure about that one.
You should send him an Oilers bracelet.
I just bought more elastic. I should send him an Oilers bracelet. Oh.
You can. Well, actually, maybe not, because that might fuck with our rituals.
No, but yeah, I'm not gonna fuck anything with our rituals. No. But speaking of rituals, the boys touched the trophy.
Also,
the Panthers didn't.
You ate my ice cream.
I did eat your ice cream, guys. Champ was on an airplane and could not eat the ice cream that she always eats after the second period. And so I go, wait, Champ, I have like half a cup of ice cream left. Like just this tiny little bit left. And I was like, should I eat ice cream for you? And she's like, yes. And so I did. And we won.
Listen, I'm just saying. Did the same thing in Texas.
Like.
I've got to stock up on ice cream before Wednesday. Ugh, Lord of mercy. But yeah, they touched the cup, and you know what? Either way,
Sid did the year
Sid
before.
Did, yep, Gretzky did too.
Yep.
Oh
my God, guys!
I'm excited, but I'm terrified, as per usual.
I can't believe we're getting a repeat.
I knew we were gonna get a rematch.
We did from the beginning. I said if we
can get past LA, we're fine.
We refuse to believe it. Like we because you know when it's like that sinking feeling where you're like, I know that this is what's going to happen, but I'm in complete denial. Yes. And we were that way at the start of the King series. We're going all the way to the cup, and then it's going to be the Panthers all the way to the cup because nobody in the East Coast can beat the Panthers. Like the Panthers are. I didn't think anybody except maybe the Caps. Had they been able to get their shit together, but it was another case of like.
I also don't think we knew their lack of history.
Yeah. So it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
No real. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So this is gonna be fun.
I might actually die.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how I'm going to handle seeing Marshy against the Oilers. And like, I can't. Oh my God.
All right. Well, Saint, do we have a sponsor today?
We do have a sponsor. Today's sponsor is Saint Astra, a Twitch streamer, cosplayer, and artist. You can support her by purchasing from her Etsy or subscribing on twitch.tv/Saint Astra. Use your free Prime sub and get access to cute little emotes. Saint Astra's Etsy also sells a variety of jewelry, decorations, and trinkets. Everything is handmade and crafted with the perfect balance of love and spite. All proceeds go directly to Saint Astra Playoff Commitment to the Bit Fund. All right, so words mean things.
Yeah.
Right? So this is where Pete Blackbird, bless him, was like, this is the definition of a gentleman's sweep when it came to the Oilers versus the Stars.
Yes.
Because the Stars won the first, and then the Oilers won 4. Mm-hmm. And everybody's like, that's not a gentleman's sweep. Actually, what the Panthers did is a gentleman's sweep, which is where you let them win 1 and then you win the next. But a sweep, and I guess that's the expected, that's the term. Like that's what but half of the people were like, no, a gentleman's sweep it's a reverse sweep.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I guess because to me a sweep has to mean 4 in a row. Right?
That's, to me, that would make sense.
That's what.
Because it's a sweep. You make the sweep motion with your hand, right? You sweep.
Yeah, sweep.
It's one follow through. It's not one follow through, stop, and then following. Like it's just Yeah,
a sweep is all at once. So to me, the Oilers, it was the true gentleman's sweep, where it's like you win 1, or you let them win 1 to just for pride's sake, and then you.
The Kings series was a gentleman's sweep. To me.
Yeah. Well. Like.
I don't think, but they were talking about how the Panther was the gentleman's sweep.
Was technically this is per, I guess, the hockey definition. It is because it's where you win 3, And
that's not a sweep.
No, because you swept them in the first 3, right? You won 3 in a row, and then you let them win 1 so that it's not a true sweep. And then you win again. And so that's why it's called a gentleman sweep, is because you let them win 1.
Okay, so it's different. I guess if you were going with what the Oilers did, that's a reverse sweep.
Yes, that it is I knew it was a reverse sweep, but I thought that the two were not
interchangeable.
Well, not interchangeable, more just that, like, you can, if it depends on if you want to be a dick or not, you can call it a reverse sweep because they got swept, or you can say it was a gentleman sweep because they let them win the first one. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's weird. And like I said, half of the comments were like, no, that is a gentleman sweep, and the other half were like, no, that isn't a gentleman. So I kind of understand.
I did see Pete Blackburn's tweet where he was like, I guess I didn't really know. It's the same thing with
which is crazy because it's like, again, this man he's in the hockey world, and he still had it wrong. Like, I guess objective, like, terms can be also, I think, regional of like what they're not like. A lot of people I talked to, because I was looking up a natural hat trick, right?
Exactly.
A natural hat trick.
That one makes
it is.
Sure, Mika Rantanen did not have a natural hattie in the Avs series.
It was not a natural. So it was a hat trick, but I guess because a hat trick doesn't actually originate in hockey, it's I can't remember, cricket or something. I don't remember.
I thought it was hockey.
But it is no.
Okay.
The hat trick has origins in a different sport. But so it means 3 in a row.
Okay.
And so hockey obviously is a lot harder to get 3 in a row. And in other sports it can be 2, but so like for hockey it's harder. So it's a hat trick if you get 3, but a natural hat trick is 3 in a row. I thought originally, and other people did as well that I talked to, a natural hat trick meant no empty net goal.
That's what I thought too.
Yes. So again, like, to me, and I guess objectively, the natural hat, this is one of those things where it's like, it can also be a linguistic shift as new fans get into the hockey world, and just also like misuse of the term. Mm-hmm. Eventually words change their meanings. Like, that's, I mean, not to be weird, but like goon as a hockey person that's not what that means in other contexts. Yeah. But in hockey culture, and in hockey linguistics, the terms might be changing. A gentleman's sweep seems to have 2 definitions depending on whatever. Mm-hmm. And then also a natural hat trick, like I said, most people seem to agree that the definition of the natural hat trick is 3 in a row with unanswered. Unanswered is the key.
So it's not just 3 in a row by one player.
It's unanswered. It means that, like, so if the other team scores in between yours, it's no longer a natural hat trick. That it is not that you got 3, and it's not that you got none with the empty net. It's that they were 3 unanswered in a row.
Okay.
So if I guess I don't know if, like, so say we're 0-0, and Dry scores twice.
Yes.
Connor scores once, and then Dry scores again.
I guess that's
is
not
a hat trick for Dry.
It's a natural hat trick
because it's unanswered.
Yeah.
But is it in a row?
I think it has to be in a row.
No, but that's what I'm saying, is that, like, that's what they're saying, that unanswered is the key for a natural hat trick. So is it, because let's see, I'm not gonna. Yeah,
hat trick was one of the first things
in ice hockey. It is a player scores 3 consecutive goals uninterrupted by any other player scoring for either team. So you're right, it is no longer a natural.
Yeah,
because Connor scoring interrupts the row. 21 seconds was the fastest natural hat trick in 1952 for Chicago.
Okay, so that was, no. I was thinking it was going to be like a little bit more recent, but they didn't have gear.
Yeah,
the goalie was ducking.
Yeah, so traces roots to cricket. I was right. Okay. So yeah, like, and that's the definition of a natural hat trick. But to me, I think that there is a difference between obviously a natural hat trick and any old hat trick. I think there is a difference between a hat trick and a hat trick that is earned with an empty net goal. I think that there needs to be a third term, because, and not to say that it's not a hat trick. It is still a hat trick. Don't get me wrong. We all lost our shit when Mikko Rantanen got that hat trick. Dude, I flew out of my seat. And I'm like, I'm not even that big of a, but just the narrative, and like, it was so close to not happening. And so for him to then go in and get the hat trick was insane.
Yeah.
But like, and so it doesn't take away from that, but I think that there should be a term for a hat trick without empty net goals in hockey.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And it's not a natural, so who the fuck? Put your comments below. What would you call a hat trick
with an
without any empty net goals? With no empty nets, but it's not a natural hat trick. So,
all right.
A clean hat trick?
Maybe.
An even hat trick?
No.
Nah.
We're not creative enough to do this.
No, I mean, usually me come up with the title, so
yeah,
I'll have to.
I'm like,
we'll circle back.
Workshop. We'll workshop. You know.
We'll workshop it.
It's the Stanley Cup 2025 final rooting interest. It looks very similar to last year's. I remember seeing last year's. And it is an interesting graphic, Saint, because I don't necessarily believe it. What do you think?
I don't believe it.
Okay.
Like,
what stands out to you the most? I have one comment.
The Carolina team that just got
that's a eliminated
big one. Eliminated by the Florida Panthers is suddenly rooting for. The only thing I could see that being a case is for us, if we had gotten eliminated by the Dallas Stars, I think a lot of people would still have rooted for the Stars because Florida beating us in the finals last year is way worse.
Yes, and I agree.
So I think that a lot of Oilers fans would have been okay with the Stars winning. Not all, but some.
Yeah.
That to me is the most egregious.
The other egregious one for me is British Columbia.
Rooting for the Oilers?
You're kidding me? There's no way that Canucks Nation is going to be rooting for the Oilers. The only thing that I can think is that they want the Cup to come home to Canada.
But like all the Canucks fans I know are rooting for the Panthers because they hate the Oilers.
Like Vegas, I understand. I don't give a fuck. LA, sure. Texas makes sense because, they lost to us. But even then, I've seen a lot more Stars fans being like, absolutely not Florida. Anybody but Florida. And we should just saw Florida off and send it into the ocean. I'm just calling it right now. I also find it interesting that both New York and Virginia are rooting for the Oilers. Our influence is spread very far, Saint.
Yes, yes.
It's all us.
A lot of people, I think it's also just like... I don't understand how they come up with this. I would love to see if it's like search interest or like betting or what.
Maybe.
Because I also don't see I just can't imagine a lot of, I don't know, it's just weird to me that many teams are going to be rooting for Florida when they've eliminated them. You know what I mean?
I also think it's interesting that many teams are rooting for Florida when Florida's had the cup, or the state of Florida has been in the cup finals for, 6 years now? That's
why I don't believe that many. I think you'd have to go down to
is
counties.
Is it also nationalism? Like, are we excited because...
That is definitely, I think a lot of casual hockey fans are going to root for Florida just because they want the cup to stay in America and they want Canada to get it.
And that's what I've seen a lot of. And you know what? I don't care. When I started rooting for Team Canada in the finals because I'm never going against my captain, that's when I knew I did not give a fuck.
Yeah, I wanted Sid Crosby to win always. Like, that's just, I'm like, no, but I want. People are like, you're rooting against America. I'm like, yeah, I want Sid. I care
Connor
about Sid Crosby more. Yeah, than I care. So like, I don't.
Yeah, I love how it's like there's all these comments are being like, there's a 0% chance fans in North Carolina want Florida to win. Right above, most Canucks fans I know are rooting for the Panthers.
Yeah, like it's just, yeah.
I just find it interesting. I wonder. I also don't understand the Oilers hate. Is it just because we have Connor McDavid?
They so I have interesting. I think it's both. I think there's a lot of factors.
Okay.
So you get mad at them because they're franchise killers, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they've killed a couple franchises. I understand those teams hating us, you know?
Yeah.
And I understand just our fan base can be very insane because we are a good team. And so it becomes popular to hate
and it's also
good teams.
Yeah. Our
And also,
our fans are not necessarily the greatest.
I think we have a lot of great people, and I think we have a lot of
people, and then
a lot of bandwagoners who suck. But here's the thing: every fucking fan base has it. So like I don't you're judging, like, you can not like the Oilers just to not like the Oilers, but don't make bullshit nonsense about how you hate. Like, the moral attributions to liking a hockey team are really weird to me. Like, every team in the NHL has problems. Every, like, whether it's player or organization, whatever. Once you start, like, moral superioritying it, it's
which we've had a lot of in the with the current, you know, issues.
That, like, people are like, I don't like the Oilers because they've like, we weren't happy about Stan Bowman either. We went on, like, probably a 40-minute rant about Stan Bowman.
I could go on another one right now. I'm not happy.
They don't want the Oilers to win because Stan Bowman. Okay, well, I don't want the Florida Panthers to win because I don't want to have to see a White House visit. Like,
I don't want Bill Zito, the supervillain, to be happy.
Yeah, exactly.
That man looks like a supervillain.
He is a supervillain. It was one of my greatest joys seeing him upset. And then also there is a weird subsection of fans who love, like, Sid Crosby.
Yeah.
Who hate Connor McDavid, and I think it is I'm gonna call you all out of this. You're so fucking cringe and weird. That's Sid's kid. He literally, when Connor McDavid was a teenager, he literally goes and looks and says, he reminds me of me.
Yeah.
Like, not to be parasocial, but I think Sid is probably like, what the fuck, y'all? Don't drag me into this.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't like Connor McDavid, that's totally fine. I don't agree with you, but I understand it. But it's just really weird how I think everybody is mad that he's not on their team. That's literally it. He's so good at hockey that it pisses people off. Well, get fucked. He's on our team.
Yeah.
Stay mad about it, bro. Like, stay fucking mad about it.
Post it across the platforms. Stay mad. Honestly, I mean, yeah. It's just one of those things where I don't get the Sid Crosby, like, the Sid fans. I mean, you see it more than I do. Because you're a Pens fan.
And it's weird. Like I said, I have Pens people in my, like, socials that hate Connor, and I don't understand you. Like, I really don't. Like, I don't like Nate Mac, but to me that's a little different because he's not, like, a direct heir. And I also have not like I just don't like the Avs in general. I'm not rooting against them just because of Nate Mac. I just don't like the Avs. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just
so bizarre.
It's just really weird. Here's the thing. All of the things that I see them bitching about with Connor were the same things that were being said about Sid Crosby.
Yep.
And that's where the disconnect is for me, is I'm like, okay, but if, like, you can't complain about what was said to Sid and, like, how brutal the things that were done and said to Sid are when you're turning around and then doing it to Connor McDavid. Yeah. Like, you can't, like, again, hate the hockey team, hate the guy, whatever, but don't bring your moral puritanism into it. Just fucking hate him because it's a sport.
And hate him because he's good.
Yeah, like, hate him because he's better than you.
If that's why you're hating him, I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Saint, let's go into sportsmanlike conduct for that one.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, we have not a great amount left. Kind of hate a lot of that.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and spin the wheel. I'm hoping for the.
We've still got what to. I have one nice thing. They're retro jersey.
It's the Islanders, by the way.
It's the Islanders. Who I have two things. One, I thought it was funny when we were doing our Marvel movie nights, and I saw the Islanders in one of the clips or one of the movies because New York.
Yeah.
I think it was Tony Stark's or like it was one of like Tony Stark's things, and he had Islanders stuff on it. And then two, their retro jerseys, the one with like the fisherman on it with like the dark, that's a sick fucking jersey. And I don't know why they don't use it more. Like, it's so cool. Like, let me see if I can find it.
I'll say, while you're looking for that, I'll say that my favorite thing about the Islanders is that they finally fired their stupid freaking GM. Who
yes, okay. The one who was like really weird. Yeah.
Lou or whatever. Oh, that is a sick jersey. Look.
Isn't it like that's the jersey they should just.
You could have such a good jersey. Like,
right?
I would support you much more if you had that jersey still.
And I don't like the Islanders, but like the teal.
Yeah, with the
like,
orange.
Me, the teal with the navy and orange, like, I love it. It's the same reason why we like the Oilers alternates. We love the dark navy with like the,
But yeah,
like, and that also then matches the PWHL sirens because the sirens, they're like, it's not exactly because I guess that's all of professional women's sports in New York use that color scheme, and that's why they stuck with it. And so like this would be kind of like we're not on the women's side of it, but like we're it's kind of how like how Pittsburgh, like how Pittsburgh, like they're branding it more.
I do think that that's nicer. I do like that they had that they got rid of their GM. Thank God.
Yes, because he sucked. He was weird. He made people. He made like
players shave
like
their
heads. Players shave their head. It was just real.
And then I
weird and controlling.
Like that they had one of the highest ticket sales this year because they wanted to watch the fan base wanted to watch Ovi get break the record. I think that's really funny. And poor Shesterkin was the curse. Igor Shesterkin, do you want to be an Oiler?
Oh, Igor Shesterkin, do you want to be an Oiler? Please, it'd be so funny.
Oh man, yeah, that's about all I got.
Yeah, I mean, was the Islander? Who was it that was in that one penalty box where he was like, "That's fucking bullshit"? And then
is that him? I thought he was in a red jersey. I could be wrong.
Maybe he was in that. No, I thought he was in like a Blue Jackets. I don't remember. Maybe that I won't say it because I don't. I don't remember.
That one was one that broke containment. I remember that one clearly on Tumblr days.
Yeah, because that was that broke containment because it was before I'd even gotten into hockey.
Yeah, and you knew what it was.
So yeah, and then I was like, wait, we saw it again later, and I was like, oh my god, I know that.
Saint, I just realized on our sportsmanlike conduct wheel that we have 4 teams left. How many weeks of hockey do we have left?
We have. It's gonna be, I believe,
1, 2. Oh, we have 3 weeks of hockey left. We have 3 weeks of hockey left. I'm making a Cassandra prediction right now.
That is, we're never gonna get the Oilers on the sportsmanlike conduct.
I'm gonna make the call.
Because who's left? Who's left?
The Caps, the Canes, the Devils, and the Oilers.
Okay.
I'm gonna make a Cassandra moment right now in that we will get the Oilers on the day they win the Stanley Cup final.
I'll allow it. Okay, I'll allow it. That's better than I will also allow us not getting them if we win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, you know what? Sure. That's the sacrifice you make. Can't talk about my team as if I haven't spent the entire afternoon talking about my team. Yeah. All right. Well, that's gonna do it for us, guys. We're going to the Stanley Cup final. We're gonna pull a biz, and yes, we are part of the locker room. It's very important.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Folks, we really appreciate you listening through all of our rants and ramblings. The Puck Witches podcast is released on Spotify and our YouTube channels, and you can join the Night Witches Discord via the link below to talk about the episodes directly, as well as enjoy our other channels. It's full of gaming, hobbies, and good vibes.
Sometimes we record these episodes live on Twitch, so make sure you're following us there. And if you want to support us with a Twitch Prime on either or both of our channels, you get access to cute emotes and extra channel points. If you enjoy this podcast, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky for updates.
And lastly, don't forget to support the St. Astra Stanley Cup Final Fund by checking out Saint's Etsy or subscribing on Twitch. We love you all and hope the hockey postseason is treating you well. Champ and Saint, signing off.
Stay witchy.